Outdoor sketching is what you do before you start painting outdoors. So these are some watercolor sketches that I have done, studies, sketches, outdoor, on the spot. This is part of an A3 size paper that I cut off one end. I turned it into a square and a smaller landscape. I usually take along with me a wad of these, and I just clip them together like that. You can put it in your backpack or your pocket, and you're ready to go, and you can turn the page as you wish when you get there. This one that you see here, I painted from the car because we were just whizzing past this beautiful field with the background. There was a row of trees in the mid-ground, and then background mountains. It was just fantastic, and I thought, I'm gonna forget it by the time we get to our destination. So I picked up the watercolors while we were in the car. I was not driving, so do not do this if you are operating a vehicle of any sorts. This one was from the top of one of those wooden structures that are designed for hunters to shoot from. But I was just doing a study on a rainy day. You can see the rain dots on my watercolors, and also the colors generally are a bit more gloomy. Now, note the difference between my sketchbook, which is a mid-tone sketchbook. It's a tan mid-tone sketchbook, which is not a white paper. And when you use the same colors, which is the exact same watercolor kit, on a mid-tone paper or white watercolor paper. On the white watercolor paper, you have the white that makes all the colors very brilliant, but also it makes it a little bit more difficult to add your own whites, your own brilliant whites that should stand out compared to all the rest, which is a problem that is solved when you work on a mid-tone paper. I can add the white of the clouds. I can add any highlights that really stands out compared to the rest of the painting. Also, some of these grasses that were very tall, it was like almost the size of a person, and they were backlit with the sun, and they were glowing in that sunlight. It was fantastic. Also, the backlit tree with some of the sun sparkling through the leaves. And then I could add some lighter toned sunlit trunks for the trees on the right hand side. Now further up, hiking further up, there were some hikers. I'm imagine my feet dangling over basically nothing. There were some climbers, rock climbers, coming up to the top here. This is a teeny tiny scrawny little tree. Just a hint of it there. That's another one. And I wanted to take note of the progression of the mountains all the way towards the plain. What you might think it's a sea, it's not a sea, it's just a plain. And that is the Tokai mountain. There's a very, it's visible from all around that region where I was hiking. Let me see. Okay, so next stop on our hiking trip, I was using fairly dry brush. I don't know why. Maybe I was working with a different brush. But what I was doing, just looking up, trying to capture as much of the motifs and colors as possible. I spent a lot more time looking up than looking down at what I was doing. So as soon as something caught my eye, I would jot it down with strong colors. So you see these bright blues. Of course, the scenery, of course, that mountain at the bottom was not blue and it was not dark red. But I use those colors to remind me, because these are sketches, and that's where sketches or studies, are different from an actual painting, is that you have things that are much stronger out of proportion, especially colors or motifs that are just randomly added there, because the whole thing serves to remind you later on when you want to work from these. And this is the last of that hiking trip. It was also the last page, so I just wanted to fill it before we came down. It was towards evening, the sun was setting on the left-hand side. You see the 2 pages here. This one is already the end of my my sketchbook, so this is not even watercolor paper. But I just decided to turn it into a landscape. And the reason why you see these reds and yellows, it's not because the mountain, there was no forest fire. And I'm saying I understand that a mountain range is mostly green in the summer. But I wanted to add the appropriate background color that would make all the greens that I add on top, it would make them stand out and it would double the effect of that green. So that's a trick. That's, you can call it my studio secret for landscapes, that especially when they are green upon green upon green, if you just work with your greens upon a white background, it will be very boring. Now, how to prevent boredom? You just add complementary colors behind it. So this was, again, like a 2-minute, very quick study of the sunlit side of the forest and these hills. And these were already in the shadows, so I added some cooler reds. And I planned, this is all in my head, the rest of the painting is in my head. These I laid down because we were rushing back down to get to the car before it would be like totally pitch dark. We still had to finish our hike with some flashlights. But this was basically my way of capturing some of those motifs, some of those hills, and reminding myself how to crack on with that. Painting from something like this is much more interesting and a lot more, the end result will be a lot more alive than if you were attempting to paint from a photograph. Okay, so I hope you like this. Please, subscribe, like, share it with others if you wish, and let me know in the comments what else would you like me to show you next time. Thanks.